everybody. I know I haven't made a video in a while. Sorry, I've been kind of busy with other stuff. But I wanted to make this quick video to let you know about my next video. So how many of us have a torque wrench like this? You can't read the numbers on there, right? They blend in, everything's chrome, everything's shiny. You need magnifying glasses just to read it, to read the numbers sometimes, or you get it right in the light, you have to have the light just right. So let me show you a quick little fix I did so you can read those numbers clearly. I wanted to do this video in the garage, but there's a bunch of noise because somebody's cutting down trees. So I'm gonna cut back and forth. So let me go to the garage real quick and I'm gonna show you the process of what I did and I'm gonna show you what it looks like after. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me over this tree shredding going on outside. So you take your torque wrench and I lowered it to the lowest setting, not below the lowest setting, just to the bottom of the lowest setting. Why? Because you're probably never ever gonna use the lowest setting anyways. Take any can of paint. I'm using black paint here. This is vinyl and fabric. Oh, okay. I thought I grabbed a different one. Doesn't matter. Point is, it's black paint. Just take your black paint and just spray it on there. You don't have to be thick. Just cover it. Flip your wrench over to the other side, so you get both Newton meters and foot pounds. Let that dry. All right, so here's your before, here's your in between, and here's your after. So you can see the after is a lot easier to read this. Of course, I got the light on, so it's reflecting, but before, it's really hard to read those numbers. After, it's a lot easier to read those numbers. So you just spray it, let it dry, it dries fast, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how to wipe it off. All right, so I took some nail polish remover and a cotton ball, and you just wipe it down, and it pulls it right off, see? No pressure. I'm wiping this gently with zero pressure. And the only thing, and what it'll do is it'll leave the paint in the numbers. So let me do this entire thing, and it'll finish like that. All right, so there we go. And the reason I say you don't want to apply pressure is because you don't want to pull out the paint that's inside of here. Well, what you do want to do is, there's a few places where you may need to apply pressure. You run your fingers on here and make sure there's no raised paint. Obviously, it's not going to come up here, so it's not going to matter. But in this scale, you want to make sure there's no raised paint. So that's the only time you would apply even just a little bit of pressure. But this isn't dramatic, but it does make the numbers easier to read if it stays focused. That's a lot easier to read than that. Yeah, this looks like it's easy to read because I never use this wrench. It's brand new. But once you get this use it a couple times, it's a little dirty. That contrast is easier to read than that contrast. You can try it out. I tried different colors. I tried reds. I tried pinks. Black seemed to work the best with this chrome. In the future, I will buy a torque wrench with high contrast numbers on it. So, I got paint on my fingers. I got to get that off too. So why am I cleaning up my torque wrenches and why am I making that? There's a purpose behind it. The reason I was doing that is because we are going to install something on the Porsche. One thing I also didn't record, and I wish I would have, but I didn't record it because it was kind of easy, was the rear sway bar mount. The actual mount on going across the brace, not the end links. I had already replaced the end links previously. The mount themselves, night and day. Wow, just blown away how much better the car is. It tracks perfectly straight down the road. It doesn't sway left or right. Doesn't move at all. And any clunk I used to have is completely gone. Now I still have a little tiny bit, and that's from the upper strut mounts. The car, I was blown away. I was shocked at how much smoother and compliant the car rides from changing rear sway bar mounts. Literally, I am not exaggerating, a 15-minute job. I used a 13mm ratchet wrench, and I just went all the way around it, the closed-in ratchet, and just zipped them off, put them back on. 17 foot-pounds is your torque, if you want to know to put them back on. 17 foot-pounds is nothing. And it's just, I'm blown away how much better the car rides. There's one thing though the car has had since day one that's kind of bothered me. It's a little bit of a clunky thing. So that's what's going to in this box. We're going to start on that today. That's why we need our torque wrenches ready. We are going to install function first mounts. These work for both PDK and manual transmission. I think I don't know, I'm not a technical expert, but looking at the transmission mount, I think the PDK and manual use the same mount. So we're going to install this. I've seen a video how to install these. These are supposed to be polyurethane. I got the soft ones. These are the orange ones. The Function First has these in 3 hardnesses. They got soft, what they street, sport, and track, I think is what they are. And so these are street. These are actually very soft. They're supposed to be polyurethane and rubber mix, but they are very soft, very easy to move. This is a little thicker, a little firmer. I think the way this actually functions first is this will fill the voids of your OEM mount, and the total structure together is what's going to give it its rigidity. So we're going to install these. This should be a very easy job. I'm going to use the quick jacks. What I haven't figured out yet is how I'm going to support the transmission, because I can use a strut tower, which is easy. I can lower, the quick jack has 2 heights, and I can put it on the lower height and it would work just fine. But I want to be able to maybe adjust it up and down, and if I do that, I'm not going to use my shady floor jack because one, I don't think it goes high enough, and 2, I wouldn't want the transmission coming down on me. So I want to get a short screw jack, but so we're going to take a trip to Harbor Freight and see if I can find a shorter screw jack in Harbor Freight. I don't know if I can or not. If not, I guess we're going to use what I have, which is either a strut tower or my crappy floor jack. I think I'd prefer to do it with the car high enough that I can just slide in and out underneath it easily without straining my neck and stressing out getting the work done. So that's next. We're going to install these and see, does this improve the transmission? And actually, the car shifts 99% good. Every now and then it will clunk when you're not at the right RPM. As I understand it, someone correct me in the comments, as I understand it, the reason that happens is because the 997.2, the PDK transmission, is basically a manual transmission with hydraulics in it and some software. But it's not the full-on transmission, PDK transmission, that's in the newer cars that have auto blip and have software to synchronize your rev match, your engine and your transmission. So in essence, you have to rev match it yourself, just like if you have a manual car. And I've noticed that because sometimes when I want to downshift and I'm decelerating, the smooth way to do it without making it clunk, put your foot back on the gas, give it a little gas, downshift, and it rev matches and it's buttery smooth. Or sometimes don't shift down until you're below 2,000 RPMs, which kind of sucks because that's how an old man drives. And I'm not an old man, not yet. I look like an old man. I'm actually only 25. I just had a very stressful life. So, all right, that's the end of this little quick short video. I just want to give a quick update, and then I'm gonna start installing these today. So that'll be the next video after this.